Okay, today I am planning to make a, a few topics. First of all, I will just try to explain the encapsulation and the abstraction that we discussed in the beginning of the lecture. Then um, I prepared some more slides related to friend functions. Actually, Musa had to just I gave him the topic to um, do it, but he was sick. That's why I will uh, try to explain it. And also, I will start. Actually, we started, but if you remember last week, the slides was not correct. I just modify the slides. I prepared new slides from the beginning for polymorphism. So I will also just make a starting to polymorphism. And next week is our last lecture. We have a few more things related to object-oriented programming that I want to explain. I will do that parts as well and finish our lecture. Um, Again, we can make an online lecture for revision, so it is not be necessary to be face to face. Also, I prefer to make revision maybe after students just prepare themselves to exam. Maybe you check a few things. I will give you some study questions. Maybe after that, you can ask me questions, so it will be better because revision class students thinks that if they attend to revision class, they will know everything, but it's not like that. It is a kind of just I have to remind you a few things in revision, but if you study a little bit and check the study questions, and after that we can make a revision lecture, it will be better. Okay, let me to start. By the way, I am preparing the slides for everything. Today I'm going for the first two things, encapsulation and abstraction. I will show it from web source, but I am preparing the slides of everything, and I will put them to Moodle. So I couldn't make it for today, all of them, because I was also working on polymorphism. Let me to just 1 second. Action. Yeah, I will start from abstraction. I think you can see.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, thank you for feedback. For abstraction and encapsulation, it is actually the concepts. So I'm not going to ask you to write a program, I mean, related to abstraction and encapsulation. Actually, we are already doing that while we are just using public, private, protected labels, I mean, access types, and also setter getter functions. Actually, we are already using abstraction and encapsulation, but here I want to just read this part to just make you to understand better the difference between them. So the questions will be maybe related to abstraction and encapsulation. I will ask some theoretical questions, but like true, false, or fill in blanks. So don't worry about that. Okay. Data abstraction in C++. So what was data abstraction? It is actually just hiding the background details. I mean, showing the user the essential part and just hide the parts that user does not need to see. Okay. So data abstraction is a programming and design technique that relies on the separation of interface and implementation. Okay. So one part is the interface that user can use the program, and on the other hand, the implementation part is the part that program is designed. So this example may be better to understand. Like a TV, that how we can use the TV. We can turn it off, on. We can change the channel, adjust the volume. We are doing this kind of things. But we doesn't know, or we doesn't need to know what they have inside or how the things are working. I mean, like how it is receiving signals or how it is translating the data. So we don't need to know them. We're just using it, and the interface is enough to use it. So this is abstraction. I don't know, in operating system, we also discussed it, abstraction. Operating system also doing this kind of thing, that's just hiding the details. User cannot reach to hardware directly. So it is abstraction. Okay. In C++, classes provide great level of data abstraction. So they provide sufficient public methods to the outside world to play with the functionality of the object. So the public methods is actually the way of reaching the parts that programmer is allow us to reach. And also we can manipulate the object data. For example, Your program can make a call to the sort function without knowing what algorithm the function actually uses to sort the given values. So you know that in programming languages, there are some predefined functions. So predefined functions actually doing what? By the way, we have okay, I just read the messages. Okay, don't worry about the internet speed because I am already recording it, so you can have the recording. Okay, sort function or generally the predefined functions, what we have inside the library, there is a code for that function. So when we call that function, actually we don't need to write the definition of the function because it is already written. So we don't need to know how this sort function or any other, maybe swap function, how it is working. Okay, so this is also abstraction. Okay, so another kind of example we have, very simple cout, I mean, hello C++ printing program. Also in cout, we don't need to understand how cout display the text on the user screen, okay? And also in C, when you make printf, it is a function, so we don't need to know how it is happening and printing to the screen. Maybe one page of code or 2 pages of code at the background is working to make this, but because of it is coming from a library, we don't need to know how it is working. So this is abstraction. Okay. Access labels enforce abstraction. So what is access labels? I mean public, private, protected. Members defined with a public label are accessible to all parts of the program. So the data abstraction view of a type is defined by its public members. So when it is public, as you know, it is accessible. I mean, user can access that part. But if members defined with a private label, which are not accessible to code, so in this case, this part means that programmer does not don't want to reach that part. Okay. So what are the benefits of data abstraction? Abstraction have two main advantages. One of them is class internals are protected from inadvertent user level errors, which might corrupt the state of the object. So user unintentionally, I mean, mistakenly make make something that will erase some data that we don't want to erase, or maybe you know, if you are designing a code, you don't want a user to play with the parts that you don't want to seeable or to, change. Also, the class implementation may evolve over time in response to changing requirements or bug reports without requiring change in user level code. So when you make data abstraction, because of you separate the user part with the implementation part, you can make your design or make your update, whatever you are going to do in implementation part, and still user will use the same user interface or same commands to use the program, but maybe you add some extra features or just remove some bugs of that part, but user can only see the parts that it is he or she is using. So you don't need to change the front part, user interface part. Okay. So by defining data members only in the private section of the class author is free to make changes in the data. So I just set the same thing 1 minute ago. If the implementation changes, only the class code needs to be examined to see what effect the change may have. Okay. So if the data is public, 1 second. Okay, sorry. So if the data is public, then any function can directly access the data members of the old representation might be broken. So this is why abstraction is using in object-oriented programming. So we have an example here. Any data abstraction example. Let me to just open it in, or I can show it from here. Just I need to make it. Can you see the code, or it is so small?
Site is so small.
So I just want to make it okay. So we have a class with a constructor, and also we have some functions. So let me to just trace the program. Okay, header is our class, and we created an object from that class. And we are calling addNum function just 3 times. But because of we have a constructor, when this object is created, constructor will be executed, and it will initialize the I value as 1. Okay, so when addNum function is called first time, its value is 10. So when we go to addNum function, as you see, it is public. So the user can reach this part. And as you see, it is saying interface to outside world, interface to outside world. These functions can be reachable. So what we are doing, the parameter is value is 10. So if you remember in the beginning, we initialized total as 0. So total will be previous total value plus the number value. So it will be 0 plus 10. It will be 10. So total value is 10. So then again, we will call the same function addNum, but this time our total value is 10. So when we run again the total function, we will add 10, 20 to the 10. So total will be 30. Okay, and again the third time, you know what we are going to do. We will add again, our total value was 30, so we will add 30 more, so it will be 60. So total value is 60 now. Then we have a cout, and we are going to call a.getTotal, getTotal function. So getTotal function again is getTotal function is doing what? Just returning the total value. So it will print 60. But here the point is we can reach, we can use the private value by using the functions in public functions in the same class. So this is can be understood that total value is hidden data from outside world because it is private, and the public parts are interface to outside world. So this is how we do the abstraction. Okay. So In encapsulation, I will show the same example, but we will check the different parts of the program. So let me to continue from encapsulation, but simply, if you understood, the parts that we can show the user or user can reach are the private, are the public parts, and the parts that we don't want user to reach or modify directly, I mean, are the private, just can be established by using private labels. So this is called abstraction. So the just user can reach the parts that it needs to use. Okay. The other one is data encapsulation. Actually, both of them are very close concepts. That's why people are confusing them. But they have differences. So let me to start. All C++ programs are composed of the following two fundamental elements. One of them is program statements, the code, and the program data. So what is code? Code is the parts that we are giving instructions, and the data are our information or our parts that we are using them to for manipulation, or we are manipulating. So encapsulation is an object-oriented programming concept that binds together the data and functions that manipulate the data, and that keeps both safe for outside interference and misuse. So from actually outside interference and misuse is also very similar to abstraction. But here the main concept is binds the data and the functions together. So the class structure, or previously we saw structures. We are in classes, we are using the data and functions together. So actually, this is the main part of encapsulation. Also, data encapsulation led to the important object-oriented programming concept of data hiding. So this is the this part, actually, this sentence. If you are confusing, you can also search from internet to understand exactly what is the difference between abstraction and encapsulation. But this sentence actually clearly explains what is the difference between encapsulation and the abstraction. Data encapsulation is a mechanism of bundling the data and the functions that use them. So simply we can say the mechanism that bundling the data and the functions. I mean, this class structure. And data abstraction is a mechanism of exposing only the interfaces and hiding the implementation details from the user. And in abstraction, we are actually we are not showing the details. I mean, unnecessary details that user does not know need to know. Okay. Okay. C++ supports the properties of encapsulation and data hiding through the creation of user-defined types called classes, as I told you. So we discussed public-private protect members. And you know that by default, all items defined in a class are private. I mean, you don't write a label. So here, the length, breadth, and height are private, which means that they can be accessed only by other members of the box class and not by any other part of your program. So only inside this class we can reach it. So this is one way encapsulation is achieved. Okay. To make parts of a class public, you must declare them after the public keyword. As you know, we discussed a little bit the friend functions. Making one class a friend of another exposes the implementation details and reduces encapsulation. So while we are making using friend function or friend classes, it is also a kind of thing that reduces the encapsulation. So think about that. You have the key of your house and you are giving the key of your house to your friend. So your security is maybe level of your house is decreased in this case because okay, it is a friend, but you can't 100% trust everyone, even it is your friend. So this is similar thing. The ideal is to keep as many of the details of each class hidden from all other classes as possible. So here, actually, we don't want the other classes, if they are not related, to see our data or that details. So we have same example, data encapsulation example. So you know the example here, the main thing that we need to consider is the class structure. So what is the class structure? We are bundling the data and the functions. So what is data? Total is our data here, and the others are our functions. And we are making our data private, which only class members, member functions here can reach it. So bundling data, actually, the class concept is, we can say that it is encapsulation. It is completely the same program. There is no difference. This is why I am saying they are very close. Actually, they are, how can I say, they are very close. So I couldn't find the better English word. Yes. So this was our first lecture in data abstraction and data encapsulation. As I told you, I will ask some theoretical questions. I'm not, of course, I'm not going to say to you to write explanations. I am saying true, false, fill in blanks, these kind of things. So it will not be hard, but I want you to learn the difference between them, these two concepts, because it is important in object-oriented programming. Actually, without knowing it, we are doing, or because in the programs it is directing you, but it is good to know the theoric part. Okay, I will finish the meeting, and in 10 minutes, I will connect again because Zoom is not allowing me to just connect immediately. Since a while, they are not allowing. Just they want to wait 10 minutes and after that, continue. Okay, this was the first lecture. So in 10 minutes, I will send another link.
All right, sir, no problem.
Okay, bye-bye.